Due to the outbreak of coronavirus, and of course, a lot of people believe that the federal government is not telling the truth about the status of Muhammadu Buhari if his right-hand man, Abba Kyari, got infected and a host of other people have been infected. The media aide to the president, Muhammadu Buhari, has denied that President Muhammadu Buhari coughed or has been coughing after testing negative to coronavirus. And there are also reports and indications out there that the only two respiratory machine in Guagalada FCT has been taken to Aso Villa. So who is this actually taken in there for? Is it for Buhari's daughter, the one that came from the United Kingdom? Or is it for Abba Kyari? And who are they actually? Now they say they've set up some emergency hospital, clinic or something in Aso Rock for the president. Or who are they actually setting it up for? Anyway, there are also indications out there that CJN, Tanko, that's the Chief Justice of Nigeria, should swear in Osinbajo immediately as Buhari is incapable at this moment. Buhari is sick. They should not play the takia that they played during the time of the takia that they played abroad, Good Luck Jonathan in. No one is interested in having a president that is dead, and they will keep playing the trick. If Buhari is not dead, he should address the nation and keep addressing the nation. Let's see, not some pre-recorded videos out there that they're going to actually edit and splice it together, and play out to Nigerians. Nigerians want to see this for real. So they are asking that CJ and Tanko should call in Osinbajo immediately and swear in. Now, it is also said that the same Osinbajo, he has self-isolated himself. And I think as a result of the scourge, the pandemic that has hit hard at Aso Rock. But then probably is isolating himself because of Buhari himself. And he knows that Buhari is sick. It's time he begins to speak. Time to speak. There's no need of playing politics. Come out and say, Buhari is sick, so you can be sworn in. And let's see what will happen in Nigeria in the next couple of years. Now, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, called Mr. Liar, made this known during a press briefing on COVID-19. According to Mohammed, the president is physically fit, strong, and fully in charge of the country. How is he physically fit if he couldn't address the nation at the time that people expected him to address it? How is he strong if he's always going back and forth to the United Kingdom? How is he fully in charge? He said, Mr. President is well and fully in charge of the country. And I believe that saying this also points to the fact that there's something wrong with Buhari. He said some allege that the president is coughing. He said it is fake news. Mohammed also revealed that he tested negative for the virus after he sent his blood samples for testing on Wednesday. He made this known in response to questions on his status and that of his colleagues. The minister added that the government is still on the trail of 4,370 people believed to have contracted the deadly virus. Now, they are yet to tell us the medical reports and status of Buhari's daughter. I think the daughter must have met with the father, and I believe Abba Kyari must have met with Buhari. So why would they hide this? This is just based on politics. Anything that happens to Buhari, if Buhari is dead, we are not asking him to die. No one wants to ask any other person to die, although we know how wicked many of these politicians are, not just Buhari, previous administration till date. They never cared to revamp the medical facilities that we have in Nigeria. They have left it in total decay. Not just the federal government, the state government too. They have hospitals that are in their own care. Many of them have left the hospital in total decay. It's more or less about my time to steal, my time to kill, my time to destroy. That's what all of them are all concerned about. So state hospitals, is it the teaching hospitals or any of the general hospitals or any of the clinics, maternities, they are in total decay. Every year, they allocate a huge amount of money for the clinic in Aso Rock, yet Buhari will not make use of the hospital in Aso Rock. So, more or less, is the hospital for the people that are in Aso Rock, or they are just using the opportunity to corner more money? It's a serious issue. Now, Lai Mohammed, however, expressed regrets that most of the returnees from abroad submitted wrong addresses. They do not want anyone to come see them. It's so funny, when they already know that they live in a country where the rule of law is not obeyed. They also understand that the federal government is not just this this administration, previous administration. They understand that the structure on ground, these people are not responsible. And as a result of this, when they come into Nigeria, there is a way they behave. For example, when many of these politicians or anybody go, when they travel abroad, there are certain ways they automatically, their system, their reasoning adjusts to a certain point where they obey the rules of the country and they act like humans. But immediately it's drop into Nigeria, you see the same person that will not drive on the other side of the road abroad. I watched a video of a woman, of a lady. She's also, she's a vlogger, and she lives in Spain. And all of a sudden, she came down to Nigeria in Lagos. There, she was driving at the other side of the road, and she would never have done that. And she was asking the police officer that stopped her to please, and she was saying no, she would never have done that abroad. But when she came back to Nigeria, she was actually acting that way. So it shows that even when people travel abroad, there are still some attitudes that they bring back, and that they automatically, it's like a thermostat. They switch it on, like, well, we are back in a place where things are not working. And they're also part of the reason why things are not working, because the federal government that you see today all came from a home. So it's time for us to actually begin to re-educate ourselves. Why? Because of the new nation that we are all looking at. It's not just because of this coronavirus that has hit hard on the people. We should also keep thinking ahead. Whenever you realize that you are going out of order, you should put yourself in order. You don't do certain, spread a disease or try to just mingle around people because you don't care. But when you are abroad, you have to obey the rules of that country. They say everyone is self-quarantine, everyone should self-isolate. You will stay indoors. You won't come outside. You will be happy to stay indoors. But when you come to Nigeria, you're not happy to stay indoors. That's when you want to begin to tell us how spiritual you are, how they shouldn't close a mosque, how they shouldn't close a church, and all this stuff that I do hear from people. So we should also look at our own part too, because this government that we are seeing today, they didn't come from the moon. They all came from a nucleus, a family. Mohammed, however, expressed that many of them did not give the right address. Would they have done the same if they were abroad? Would have given them wrong address. If you give them wrong address, once they ask for your identity card or any of your visa or whatever you have there, they automatically know your whereabouts because they have a very robust, they have a database that is comprehensive. So what are we talking about? So they know where you are. Now we don't have that in Nigeria because of politics. They decided to create a database where such will be put. If not, if people return, why wouldn't they be, why wouldn't you know where they live? Now, aside that, it is also said that many of the politicians, they believe that the rule of law is just for the masses. But for them, they will pass through the airport without anyone actually stopping them. Just imagine many of them that came in from the United Kingdom or from Europe or wherever they came in and brought this disease. The virus was not in Nigeria itself, but it was brought in just like how it circulated all over the world, as they said, from Wuhan, China. It spread around the whole world. It's like someone from visited China, visited Europe, visited here and there, and it spread around. And it's actually the speed at which this virus moves is so terrible. So many of them contracted the disease. They care less about self-isolating themselves. They asked their driver to come pick them up. They share these things to their driver. The driver will share with them. How much is the driver earning? The driver shares it with the wife and children, and it's just all over the place. So it's a terrible thing. And so they said they are trying to trace 4,370 people. 4,370 people that might be infected, and they ran somewhere without actually giving out their details. They said we're on the verge of reaching the level of community spread. We must stop this immediately or we'll record exponential cases in the days ahead. There is no better way to say this. He added, let me say without missing words, that we are not getting the kind of cooperation this moment deserves from Nigerians. Many are busy engaging in meaningless criticism instead of complying with the stipulated directives to keep people safe. Some Nigerians who flew into the country from overseas filled wrong addresses. Numbers in their forms are not correct, so it is difficult for us to actually track them. Some Nigerians defied others to stay away from large gatherings, while some religious leaders willfully flouted the directives to ensure social distancing. The government is doing its best, but we need the citizens to do their best too. We have gone now past the stage of persuasion. It's time for strong enforcement. Well, I think in that vein, if they are calling for a strong enforcement, which is okay, I believe that people should keep themselves safe. as you will not have the kind of treatment, medical treatment that these people will have if anything goes wrong with them. But then it is time for them to do the right thing. You see, they say charity begins at home. If the head is rotten, the rest of the body is what? Useless. The head, as they claim they are rotten. They lie, they steal, they kill. There's nothing they don't do. So a lot of people have taken this attitude. That is why you realize, like I said, someone that lives abroad, keeps the rule of law, comes back to Nigeria and is ready to do whatever it takes to break the law or do whatever he or she likes. So these are the issues. So people have seen them, they've mirrored it, and they keep mirroring the same thing. So it's time for us to get out of this shell. Let's get out of this trap that somehow socially and economically they've put a lot of people in, even religiously they've put people into. It's time to get out of these things and help yourself. That's what it is for now. If you're not a member of this channel, let's grow together by you tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below. It will alert you whenever videos such as this are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.